All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Look, if you're an early stage founder right now, the 2026 startup ecosystem can feel, frankly, incredibly daunting. There's just so much going on. So today, we're going to decode that overwhelming funding environment and really transform it into a clear, actionable strategic playbook. We're stepping away from all the chaos and building a direct, logical path to help you scale your vision. To do that, here is our roadmap. We'll start by tackling the wall of noise, then define the actual startup tools at your disposal. After that, we'll build your decision-making framework, navigate the unique 2026 landscape, unpack the founder's strategic playbook, and finally, wrap up with your immediate action plan. So let's kick things off with Section 1, the wall of noise. Before we even think about building a strategy, we need to validate exactly how you're probably feeling right now trying to get your company off the ground. It's just a wall of noise. I mean, when you're constantly hearing about accelerators, incubators, government grants, angel networks, and venture studios, it usually leaves founders feeling completely blasted. It's honestly the default feeling in the startup world today. So if you feel like you're just staring at endless disconnected options without a map, you are definitely not alone. But, we can't just stay stuck in that confusion. Our whole goal in this explainer is to cut straight through that noise and replace it with a focused, highly effective strategy. Success today means knowing exactly how to pick the right resource for the specific stage your company is at, and more importantly, understanding how to actually leverage it for tangible growth. Moving right along to Section 2, defining the startup tools. Okay, before you choose a path, you absolutely must understand what the vehicles actually are. Let's look at the classic difference between an accelerator and an incubator. Think of an accelerator as a fast-paced boot camp. It's usually 3 or 4 months designed purely for speed and scaling an idea that already exists, usually ending in a big pitch day. On the flip side, an incubator is a much slower, more open-ended environment. It's really focused on hatching an idea from scratch. They serve entirely different stages of your startup's lifecycle. The crucial thing here is understanding the distinct trade-offs of each tool. Accelerators give you seed capital and a great network, but they're going to demand around 3 to 8% of your equity. Incubators might just charge you fees without taking a slice of your company. Venture studios, they'll actually embed their own engineers and marketers right into your team, but in exchange, they're taking a much larger equity stake. And then, of course, you have grants. These are the magic words, non-dilutive funding. You get the capital to support your R&D, and you keep 100% of your ownership. Knowing exactly what you're sacrificing for growth is the absolute foundation of your strategy. But hey, never underestimate the human element in all of this. Did you know mentored founders actually achieve 3 times better outcomes? It's wild. Investor networks and accelerators provide what we call smart capital. It's not just a check, it's their expert advice, their massive Rolodex of connections, and their credibility transferring directly to you. Honestly, this is often the most valuable part of the entire exchange. All right, on to Section 3, the decision-making framework. I want you to actively play along with this thought experiment right now. Think about your startup today. What is your single undeniable need? Is it just raw cash to keep the lights on and survive? Is it expert guidance because you're totally stuck on product development? Or is it the network you need to reach those crucial first major customers? You really have to identify that one critical bottleneck, because your answer dictates your path entirely. This is the priority matrix. Every single day, you are weighing capital, network, and mentorship against your willingness to part with your equity. If expert guidance is your absolute top priority, then trading a little equity for a top-tier accelerator makes total sense. But if you fiercely need to protect your equity and simply need cash to fund some heavy research, well, you should be hunting exclusively for non-dilutive government grants. Your number one need dictates the tool. And remember, actually, scratch that. It's crucial to remember. This answer might completely change in 6 months. That brings us to Section 4, navigating the 2026 landscape. 60%. Let that sink in. A staggering 60% of Y Combinator companies this year are expected to be AI-focused. This single statistic is a massive flashing sign showing exactly where the gravity of the market is pulling right now. We are seeing these major specialized accelerators popping up exclusively to fund and support AI companies. So what does this mean for you? Well, because the generalist programs are leaning so heavily into AI, you must be incredibly targeted. If you're an AI founder, you're looking at places like Excel and Google Atoms. But if you aren't building the next big AI model, you need vertical-specific programs. If you're in health, look at Halcyon. If you're specifically in mental health, look at SeedSpot. You have to find those niche programs that are explicitly searching for your exact type of solution. Okay, let's level up with Section 5, the Founder's Strategic Playbook. This is where it gets really fun. It's fascinating how we can elevate those foundational choices into pro-level advanced tactics. You can dramatically extend your runway using what we call the stacking strategy. Basically, you don't just pick one route. You pair an equity-based accelerator, which gets you the network and that vital seed money, with massive, non-dilutive resources. For example, imagine securing $150,000 in Azure and OpenAI credits from Microsoft, and then stacking that with $200,000 in cloud credits from Google. You're literally stacking these resources to artificially inflate your runway without giving up a single extra percentage of your company. It's brilliant. And that brings us to an incredible pro move, all about timing. If you time your VC pitch right after announcing a major grant win, let's say something like the Braze Tech for an Equitable Future grant, you are leveraging that external stamp of approval. Think about it. A major grant tells venture capitalists that a serious, rigorous organization has already vetted your idea and put money behind it. You walk into that pitch room with massive leverage to negotiate a vastly superior valuation. Now, we've got to talk about the traps where this playbook can go completely wrong. Fatal flaw number 1. Chasing the brand name. Please beware of chasing a shiny logo just to slap it on your startup's website. You have to verify if the program actually offers structural support for your specific industry. We see founders get in, give up a chunk of equity, and then just suffer through incredibly generic mentorship and terrible post-program support. Don't let vanity drive your strategy. And then there is fatal flaw number 2, the grant timeline trap. Look, government and foundational money moves at a snail's pace. It just does. Don't let slow grant payouts kill your startup because the cash finally arrives 3 months after you've emptied your bank account. The solution here is to build a blended capital stack. Mix in venture debt or revenue-based financing to bridge that cash gap and keep the lights on while you wait. Simply hoping the check arrives in time is not a funding strategy. A blended capital stack is. Finally, let's bring it all home with Section 6, your immediate action plan. Let's wrap up this explainer by giving you some hyper-specific marching orders. I really want you to follow these 3 precise steps to stop endlessly reading blog posts and start taking strategic control of your future. Step 1, open a doc and be brutally honest with yourself. Write down your number 1 undeniable need for the next quarter. Step 2, based entirely on that need, create a custom shortlist of just 3 to 5 laser-focused programs. And step 3, reach out to an alumnus. And I'm telling you, step 3 is literally the ultimate cheat code. Reach out directly to program alumni to hear about their actual experience. Send a quick DM, ask for just 15 minutes of their time. This is exactly how you bypass the polished marketing copy and get the absolute unvarnished truth. Ask them bluntly, did the program actually help you raise your next round? Was the mentorship real or was it just fluff? So I want to leave you with this final critical thought. Which specific tool are you going to leverage today to cut through the noise and scale your vision? Armed with this matrix and this playbook, what is the single most important move you will make right now to transform your startup's trajectory? Don't let the ecosystem overwhelm you. Choose your tool, make your move, and go build something amazing.
Welcome to Startup Founder Best Practices. It's another Thursday night, and we got a couple more weeks before we hit our 6th anniversary. Couple of hundred, pushing close to 300 events, and so we're excited to be here to support founders all over. Our planned guest for tonight is not going to be able to make it, so this is going to be your opportunity to ask me anything you want, and plus I'll also be sharing some ways that I use AI every day to kind of support the activities in my life, and there's a lot of activities in my life, and so so it's it should be great, and I'm looking forward to it. So basically, if you got any new folks out there, I'm Lloyd Reshard. I been doing this particular Thursday night events since August 13th of 2020, and I've only missed one event in these 6 years. And so we've been here, trying to help guide founders based on some of the best practice of building startup. These are not things that I came up with. This is just what's going on in the ecosystem, and just trying to take the best practices that are out there and share them with folks and help them grow, kind of fertilize an idea that they may have, or if they're trying to grow. So as you see on the screen, it says I'm a level 3 certified LeanStack coach. And all that means, LeanStack is like lean startups, lean production, or whatever you want to call it. And stack just means that it's a stack of tools. So LeanStack is a bunch of tools and a framework for building a startup, which Ash has evolved into what he calls Lean Spark now, which is basically encapsulate all that stuff and AI and to help you move forward a lot faster. And believe me, it is a hell of a lot faster. So if you should be leveraging AI with your business, no matter what stage your business is in. Um, AI is a big lever to kind of help you grow your business. And so tonight we started doing an Ask Me Anything session. And so if you have questions about AI, if you have questions about a business you want to start, if you have questions about growing a business, or if you want to understand what it takes to um, create a scalable business model, uh, any questions related to that, what things that can make a big difference and actually helping you understand and growing your business. So I want to give a big shout out to folks that have helped us on this journey, throughout these 6 years. And without them, we couldn't be here to help you. Uh, and basically, I learned, from all of these partners uh, and things going on. I'm going to have to update this slide because Coda is now superhuman, and I have to see. I have to go back and see how that partner program works. And yeah, but we're still hanging in there with LeanStack and LeanStack down here and Startup Science, and we make that a platform available to our founders. Black Innovation leads of Florida, all over Florida, and trying to close out those innovation deserts there and help people move forward. And the Black Innovation Alliance, that's a national and even international. And I'm hiding Goody Nation over here in the corner. I just learned so much from them. It was pretty amazing. Got to participate in the Make Startup Fellowships a couple of years ago. Pitch Bob, great tool for using AI agents to kind of get you started with your business. And I could go on and on forever about all this stuff. But and these are some local and Florida-based companies that support what we're doing to help us bring the programs to folks. And so we do this every Thursday night. So, and we have a networking thing just before this from 6 to 7 Central Time. So if you got any questions, and we literally try to take all your excuses away, for trying to grow your startup. Because if you've got questions, we want to make sure you get connected, and we want to make sure you know how to use the AI to actually grow your business. Yeah, and all of this resources, all we're trying to accomplish is to make sure you you know what's required to take advantage of the ecosystem. And I was talking to one of the founders earlier this afternoon, and he's now working with a nonprofit, and so basically, there's even in the nonprofit world, there's an ecosystem. There's things you have to understand if you want to get funding there, and if you don't take time to understand it, it's not going to happen. Same way with the startup ecosystem, you know, th- that there's you as a founder, and then this whole ecosystem out there, and all these resources that are in the ecosystem, but knowledge is what gets you in the way of getting to take advantage of those resources. And so that's what we help you with here on this slide. And I'll come down here for a little refresher. So we love this idea of business modeling. And if you don't understand what a business model is, it's just uh, uh, a one-page business plan with 9 blocks, 9 sections in it. And then all of this next level is customer segments, product, service variants. This block right here, and as you see, this is an example of 5 different customer segments and or variants of your products or service, and then you stress test each of those customer segments. But you got to realize, why are you stress testing them? Because in the end, you want to end up with the one that's going to give you the most traction, and then you can go back and do the other ones. But you don't want to waste time marketing to all 5 of these, and when maybe one of these is going to give you more traction than the other 4 or whatever. But you're just stress testing, and you're going through this process. And so this is a formal process for building a scalable business model, or regular business, a non-scalable business model. It's just a formal process to go through. And so if you're out there trying to do something and you don't know the step-by-step process, you're going to be out there wondering. And so in this lean stack world, this is the process that we use to help you get there. First, you design your business model, and that's what this area here is all about: designing your business model. And then this pink area over here is about um, doing the demand validation, and that is critical, because if you don't do that, you don't know how to market. And so it's this literally a framework to kind of help you move forward. And so we get you started when you go to apply.kakuainstitute.org, kakuainstitute.org. You apply.kakuainstitute.org. You literally get a AI prompt that takes you through this whole process. So in less than an hour or so, you could actually run that prompt in 2 or 3 different ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, uh, and Aisha. That's a new culturally sensitive one that actually is pretty liberal with their credits now. So that's pretty fantastic. So it's a culturally based large language model that literally works and gives good um, results. But that's one simple way that we use AI. And so you have an idea, or you have a business and you want to grow your business. So you use this same prompt, and it literally figures out all the each customer segment, the size of the customer segment. It figures out uh, all these customer, all the pain points that these customer segments have. You name it, it figures it all out for you. And it uses a good research tool that's built into the prompt that figures a lot of things out for you. And all you have to do then is take the results of the reports and put them in Notebook LM. Let Notebook LM synthesize the information. um, you can create explainer videos, you can create podcasts, and then you can ask the podcast questions. Then you have a chat feature, just like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. You can ask it questions about your business and the customer segments, and how big is the each customer segment. What are the contradictions between the different reports from Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, the chat are now Vibe, I think is what they call it, and ChatGPT. And so this is like really critical for literally understanding your which customer segment to target. But some people have that, if you're already familiar with the industry you're in, and you understand stuff, you can actually get started a lot faster. But if you're not familiar with all the different industry and you have a business idea, you literally need to follow this process. So that's what we're that's what we do, is we help you get going. So I'm here every Thursday night. We have office hours on Saturdays from 1 to 3 p.m. Central Time, and it's available there. So yeah, we're here to help you if that's what you want to do. So I'm open to questions. If you want to try to understand something about building a startup or building a business, a nonprofit, whatever, I'm open to sharing my thoughts on that um, um, tonight, to kind of help you move forward. And as we wait on the questions to come in, I do have I want to I did a chat last night about I just asked ChatGPT to kind of reflect all the ways that I've been using AI over the past three years, and so it came up with a bunch of stuff, and then I used my Lanika prompt to analyze that, and so to just to make just to validate some of the stuff it's saying. So for me, when I do prompts, when I ask the language model something, I still go back and analyze that. So I'm going to go ahead and share that video, and maybe that will stimulate some questions. Let me get ready for that. Okay, share the screen and share the sound. Yeah, so feel free to ask questions, because this is real important. That's the way you're going to get the best bang for the buck, and using AI. And this is just a video that talks about how I use AI. It's titled Religious System, but that's literally, even though it might be the secret to it, but there's still a lot more. So I'm going to just go ahead and share this and play it.
Let's dive right into this explainer, because today we're going to fundamentally shift how we think about using artificial intelligence in our daily lives. Most of us just view AI as, well, a search engine on steroids, right? It's kind of like using a massive supercomputer exclusively as a magic 8-ball. But today, we're looking at a framework that radically redefines that whole relationship, literally turning your everyday experiences into this powerful, constantly accumulating engine of intelligence. We've got a lot of fascinating ground to cover. We're going to start by moving beyond the simple prompt. Then we'll map out the 6-stage sense-making loop, show you how to transform everyday conversations into actual intelligence, reveal the lineage system itself, and finally wrap up with how to compound your own personal intelligence. So kicking things off with Section 1, Beyond the Simple Prompt, Redefining AI. It is definitely time to break down the standard, but honestly, incredibly limiting way most people view AI today. I want you to ask yourself a quick question right now. Are you just asking a chatbot questions, or are you actually building a system that learns? I mean, for the vast majority of us, AI is basically just a vending machine for answers. You plug a prompt in, you get some text out, and boom, the interaction ends right there. But what if we completely reframe that whole process? The contrast here is massive. Think about the normal way we use AI. It's strictly linear. Question, AI, answer. You ask it to summarize an article,
And it does. Simple, right? But the Lineage Way is this expansive, continuous loop. You take your lived experiences, plus raw information, conversations, documents, the whole shebang, and you feed all of that into the AI. You're using it to find deep patterns and actual meaning. And that, in turn, drives you to make a decision, take an action, and ultimately create a learning moment. You're not just getting an answer anymore. You are actively capturing your lived experience.
Now, what's really cool about this is how it totally demystifies the technology. AI isn't just one monolithic thing. It actually serves at least 5 distinct functions for us. First, it acts as a mirror, reflecting your own thinking back at you so you can really examine it. It's also a microscope, helping you spot these tiny, weak signals buried deep in a massive document. Then it's a connector, seamlessly linking ideas that might have happened months apart. It's a thinking partner that pushes back and challenges your assumptions. And absolutely crucial here, it serves as a memory layer, preserving your organizational knowledge over time. Plus, there's even a 6th emergent role, acting as a simulation environment where you can actually test out possible futures before spending real resources in the real world. Moving right along into Section 2, the 6-stage sense-making loop, the visible process. Let's quickly map out the exact human steps required to turn this from some mysterious black box technology into a highly recognizable, super effective daily practice. So the main takeaway here is that the 6-stage loop ensures you aren't just blindly producing outputs. Step 1, you capture, bringing the world into the AI by feeding it your conversations and documents. Step 2, you see, finding those hidden patterns that just aren't immediately obvious to us. Step 3, understand, asking what those weak signals actually mean. Step 4, connect, combining this fresh insight with your past knowledge. Step 5, decide and create, turning that understanding into real action, like a strategy or an experiment. And finally, Step 6, the one almost everyone skips, learn. You feed the outcomes of those actions right back into the loop. Honestly, this final step is everything. It's what guarantees continuous institutional and personal learning over time. Just think about this for a second. AI helps you pay attention at scale. That phrase alone kind of changes everything, doesn't it? I mean, think about all the stuff you hear, read, observe, and experience every single day. Normally, most of it just washes over you and disappears. Our memories naturally decay. But when you use AI to capture all those things that usually vanish, it starts acting as an externalized observation system. AI is literally helping you pay attention at scale, finding connections between events or ideas that might have happened weeks or even months apart.
All right, let's jump to Section 3, transforming conversations into intelligence, a concrete example. We're going to see how all of this builds when we apply this exact loop to a totally normal, real-world scenario, say a standard 2-hour economic development meeting.
Okay, so normally after a meeting like this, somebody jots down some minutes, you all go home, and let's be real, 3 months later, the context is completely gone. But when you treat that meeting transcript as an actual intelligence asset and feed it into the system, some pretty incredible things start to surface. The AI doesn't just hand you the surface level info, like, oh, these 3 organizations agreed to collaborate. No, it finds patterns. It notices that different participants are actually describing the exact same founder problem, just using slightly different words. It catches weak signals, like a super brief mention of procurement difficulties. It even spots glaring contradictions. Like, say everyone in the room claims capital is the main issue, but the founders themselves were actually asking for customer access. And then it makes connections, pointing out that this exact same issue popped up in some interviews you did a whole 6 months ago. So what does this all mean? Well, because you use the AI as a microscope and a connector, you arrive at a massively powerful implication. The ecosystem doesn't actually need yet another capital readiness program. What it really needs is a customer connectivity mechanism. And that leads you directly to action, designing an experiment to go out and test that new hypothesis. See? This completely proves that the AI hasn't just politely summarized a meeting for you. It has fundamentally converted everyday conversation into highly valuable, actionable organizational intelligence. Now, to really make this work, we have to clearly understand the boundaries between the machine and the human. The AI handles the first 3 levels of seeing. Level 1, just the facts of what happened. Level 2, the patterns and trends that are forming. And level 3, what those weak signals might actually be telling us. But level 4, figuring out what we actually do about it, that remains strictly your human responsibility. You are absolutely not outsourcing your thinking here. In fact, you're doing the exact opposite. You're using AI to radically increase the amount of hard evidence available for your own, completely human judgment at level 4.
All right, now that we have a solid grasp on that visible loop of capturing and acting, let's pull back the curtain. Welcome to Section 4, the lineage system revealed under the hood. This quote right here, this is basically the philosophical anchor for this entire explainer. When you repeatedly ask an AI to think with you in a formalized way, you aren't just checking off isolated tasks anymore. You are ensuring that every single new piece of information actually builds upon the last. It means you stop starting over from scratch every time you face a new problem. Why? Because your intelligence is finally actually compounding. And that perfectly brings us to the formal definition of the lineage system. Now keep in mind, lineage isn't just some new AI tool or a specific piece of software you buy. It is a structured methodology for interrogating information. Think of it as a recursive reasoning architecture. It basically ensures that the way you analyze an article or a meeting or even a random observation is entirely repeatable. It governs exactly how you continuously convert your lived experiences and actions into accumulating intelligence. It ensures that your past experiences literally become more and more useful as time goes on. Notice how this recursive analysis takes our basic 6 stages and replaces them with an even deeper system. We start by detecting signals and patterns, interpreting their meaning, and then connecting them across completely different contexts. Like linking a random workforce development issue directly to a founder's interview. Then we translate that insight into actual artifacts, like new systems, graphics, or policies. We test those out in reality. And finally, and this is for sure the most critical step of a recursive system, we reinterpret. We take a hard look at the new evidence our actions just produced, and we reinterpret everything we thought we already knew. The meaning of old information isn't fixed, right? New evidence can completely change how you view a conversation you had a whole year ago. Okay, for our final shift in mindset, let's look at Section 5, compounding your personal intelligence, to really explore how this intelligence practically compounds over time. When you fully adopt this methodology, your relationship with technology is going to evolve dramatically. On day 1, sure, AI is just a tool. But by month 1, it becomes a genuine thinking partner that actively challenges your assumptions. Fast forward to month 6, as it processes more and more of your specific contextual data, it becomes an intelligence amplifier. But by year 1, honestly, something incredible happens. Time itself becomes a data source. You've officially built a personal intelligence infrastructure. It's this massive cross-context network where information just moves automatically to wherever it creates the absolute most value for you. When we stack it all together, the architecture of this compounding engine operates in 4 distinct layers. Layer 1 is just your life and work, the raw material of your daily meetings, experiences, and problems. Layer 2 is the AI. That's the raw computation layer that searches, extracts, and generates text. Layer 3 is lineage, the intelligence methodology we discussed that literally forces the system to hunt for weak signals and apply that recursive reasoning. And finally, sitting firmly at layer 4 is human intelligence. The AI provides the computation, lineage is the methodology, but you remain the critical router. You're the leader and the accountable decision maker determining all real-world actions. I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought today, just to challenge how you manage your absolute most valuable asset, your lived experience. Your experience creates the data. The AI turns that data into signals. The methodology turns those signals into usable intelligence. And finally, your human judgment turns all of that into action. But listen, if you don't intentionally build a system to capture it, your memory naturally decays, and all that hard-earned context simply disappears. So what are you going to do differently tomorrow to ensure your intelligence compounds rather than fades away? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this fundamentally changes how you approach your daily life and work.
How do you use AI? So that's a question that I have for you right now. So, and if you want to share some of your stuff in the comments, feel free to do that. But hopefully that gives you a little indication of how I use it. But of course, people use AI in hundreds and thousands of different ways. So it's not just for the way I kind of use it to kind of help me learn and understand. I use it as a mirror, as all those things were saying there. But Yeah, because everything that you come involved in your daily routine is data. And so, for example, my day today, I had a I woke up and got ready and everything, and I reviewed uh, some of the stuff like what I was just showing you just then. But I came across a couple of articles or YouTube videos, and I used my personalized Lanika system to analyze those things to see if there was any information in that article or that YouTube video that might be useful to all the things that I'm actually involved in. And then I had to run off to a doctor's appointment. So I asked the doctor, I says, is it all right for me to record this conversation? He said, yes, because I'm going to record it too, he said. But anyway, and so now I haven't had time to analyze it yet, but I'll um, dump that transcript in ChatGPT, and I will run my personalized little nature prompt. And my little nature prompt is based on all the stuff I've been learning for the past 3 years, 3.5 years, and so it yeah, and so when I analyze that, it will help me better understand what the doctor said, and how and how it actually applies to me. And then I was scheduled to go to a kind of an ecosystem type meeting today, and it was 4.5 hours long. But since I was late getting there for my doctor's appointment, a friend of mine actually recorded the conversation for me. So I'll later on tonight or tomorrow, I'll upload that and get the transcript from that, and then I will analyze that, and it will tell me everything that happened in that meeting that might be useful to me, um, et cetera, et cetera. And tell me, what the next steps I could do. It will tell me if there's something important there. Do I need to update my personalized Lanika prompt to better be able to recognize and capture information in the future? So that's kind of how I use it. And so right now, the transcript from this particular talk, I will analyze it and extract all the patterns and hidden patterns out of this, and so that's the way I use it. So Lenore says she, as a conversation sparring partner, research and assist in building ecosystems and infrastructure. I use it to automate and streamline redundant steps. So that's a fantastic way. Thank you for sharing, uh, Lanika. And so one of my customers uh, today sent me an email because she was listening to one of the um, the videos I had created for her with Notebook LM, and she said she wanted to fact check some information, and so I actually sent her the video, but I also sent her the my you know I analyzed the transcript from the video with my Lanika prompt, and it found the errors in the transcript. It found all the hidden patterns, the surface patterns, and the weak signals, everything. And so I sent her that, and she said this is super because in general, all these large language models are going to fabricate stuff. So you literally have to uh, analyze them, your results, to make sure that it's not actually lying to you. And so that's kind of example of I how I use my Linux prompt and how I use AI. So like if there's something I want to learn that I don't understand, or it's this new concept, like like just anything. Like let me just show you this for example. Let me share my screen here. Let's see, wrong thing. And like this is kind of this whole thing is one way that I use AI. If I can press the right thing here, share my screen. This entire screen. But let me do something first here. So this is gonna, once I share this, this is gonna be the actual um, what's the making of this what I'm talking to you about right now. So like I said, was it last night? Um, I I wanted to reflect on how I use AI, and so let me blow this back up some so you can see it. So I wanted to reflect. So I want to be able to clearly explain and illustrate how I use AI in an understandable way. Can you please help me with this? And so it kind of came in and talked about all this stuff and meeting transcripts, articles, founder interviews, slide deck, law and policy, program design, all these ways I use AI. Um, uh, so it's kind of explaining that. It's telling me a simple way I can illustrate it, and let's see what it's saying. Bring the world into AI. So all the information that I'm collecting, um, I use it to see stuff because what happens is, um, in the engineering world, X-ray. Let's say you take an X-ray, your human eyes can't actually see all the stuff that's in that X-ray. You see it, but you don't recognize what it is. But the AI has the ability to see all the dots, the pixels, and see the patterns. And so when you're listening to somebody talk, or when you get a transcript, you it's just like an X-ray. You can't see everything that's in there, and so that's why you use the AI to analyze it and help you understand it, and you can connect it with other knowledge, and so everything can there's patterns in everything, and so and this will give you another example. I was listening to Hidden Brain on Saturday morning, and so they had this story on pain, and it was a literally amazing story on how the brain sort of creates pain just to kind of help protect yourself. And so it was pretty dramatic. So I analyzed that transcript and found the patterns in that uh, because it was amazing. And basically, what the pattern was, you may see something on the surface, but that may not be the true cause of the pain or true cause of what you see. And so that's why you have to analyze it to kind of dig deeper. And so then I just, since I know AI is a pattern matcher, so I asked the thing. So how does what's scriptures in the Bible does this relate to? So the AI goes find all the scriptures in the Bible that has the same pattern that the hidden brain thing was talking about. So I use that as a lesson, with my sibling call that we do every Tuesday night. So uh, decide and create and learn. Yeah, and it's all a recursive loop. But then once it provides me this answer, so this is kind of the stuff it answer me, and that's what that video you saw was actually based off this information. I dumped it in the Notebook LM to have it reflect information back. I'm trying to get to the place where but after it told me that, then I ran my Lanika prompt on it to analyze the information. So it found all the patterns in that. And so yeah, and then after I did that, um, I said I want to. I asked it to kind of help me understand a topic that I could use for tonight, and so it came up with a topic, and I told it the one that you told me three topics. I told the one I like, and then did this. And so what a lot of you all may not realize, you could have a long thread and you can actually, I can say, please, and you don't have to say please. It's something I'm in the habit of doing. Analyze. Let's say please reanalyze, because I used the prompt already. Reanalyze this entire prompt chat thread with my, I'll say my new LEANSTACK system, since I just updated it last night. Okay, and so you can literally, if you got a long prompt thread, you can literally analyze the whole prompt thread. Or if you got a project, you can analyze all the prompts that you did in that project, and to get all the information out of that project. So like on Tuesday, I had to do an update for our innovation entrepreneurship meeting. So I literally had used my LEANSTACK system to analyze every chat conversation in that whole project, to extract all the stuff out of it. But people, you everything is data. So you just have to realize that, and data has patterns in it. So you leverage the LEANSTACK system. And so for those of you all that haven't created your own personalized LEANSTACK prompt, I'll try to I'll show a video, and then I'll go find that for you. Let's see what we got here. So I'm probably, you can see I got the thing, I'm doing overkill here. I don't need to have this thing in the high thing. I could probably do it in the instant, but but since I'm paid the $20 a month, I'll make it work hard to kind of analyze that. But it's totally unnecessary to kind of use that most powerful model, to have it do that. And that's why it's actually taking the extra time here. So so you see now it's generating the response. And let's see, can we just kind of see? So it analyzed that whole chat thread for me. And this this is a real example of experience, insight, reinterpretation, multi-context reuse, intelligence routing, and artifact. That's a mouthful. Found engagement, following. Okay, so it's just going on. So, but I'm just doing this as an example. This particular thing is a small prompt thread, but it's, yeah. And to think that you can actually do this with a whole project, or you can. I've never tried to do this, to have it analyze my whole prompting history, but it probably could do that too. So it's the hidden structure that's not obvious. It says it's a personal intelligence, so I'm using it to kind of improve my, this is these two things I never heard of before, but founder intelligence, how can the founder use this process? So since I work with founders, it's also always gonna have some suggestion for founders. Since I work with ecosystem partners, it's always gonna have some suggestion for them. Yeah. Yeah. And so I'll do the same thing, like I said, with the transcript from the doctor today. I'll do the same thing with the transcript from the it's like 2.5 hour transcript. I'll do that. So it's to send all the signals that are in this chat thread. And then but it's always saying the founder or the person always has to be in the loop of the AI. You don't just turn the AI loose. Now the weak signals are kind of hints on what could be coming up in the future. Um, so threat could become a public Lanika concept. So it'll explain what that is. I won't even bother to figure. This session could become an evidence generation event. Okay. Another weak signal. My personal story could be a case study. Yeah, but it goes on and on. I'll just go down here to the end. So I hope it's not still going. But another thing that I use AI, and I would say like, can you please document the above, and then I'll say at Google Drive. And I do this so I don't have to worry about copying and pasting it. It'll just create a Google document, in Google Drive and send me the link to it or whatever. And so that's kind of how I do it. Okay, so Lenora, you saying they have dropped the token usage by 8%. I saw it today. So that's so yeah, keep an eye on stuff like that. I appreciate you sharing that. And so like a lot of times when they're trying these new models out, they want you to use them and get hooked on them. So they'll let you use it more than they normally would. But they've been updating these models on a regular basis. So, a couple times, 3 times a month, you get these opportunities like Lenora is suggesting. And I definitely take advantage of them because I have some deep research prompts that burn up a lot of tokens and stuff like that. So, but yeah. So yeah, so that's I won't dwell on that, but these are just some ways that I use Google Drive, and so we can do a quick review. But appreciate you sharing that, Lenora. So this will kind of be like this. So this particular, and just so you know, the video I didn't. Another way I use AI. So that video was created at Notebook LM. Let me see if I'll just show you here. So got it a little too big here. So literally I took the whole ChatGPT thread and saved it to a PDF, and then it came up with this name here for the notebook. And for the notebook, excuse me, I've got lost here. For the notebook, and if you notice, just one document, and I accidentally created 2 of these podcasts, but they were where I could go in there and ask questions. So that's what this little hand here is for. And then this is the video that you saw. But when you look at this particular video, it has all the Notebook LM branding. So I have I use I use Descript to edit the videos. So I just upload the videos, and like I said, I have a prompt that goes in and edits the video for me. Just takes a few minutes. It removes all of the Notebook LM stuff. But for those of you that haven't used Notebook LM, you could go in here and ask whatever questions, and it'll reference this document here in order to do that. And then over here, you can see I created this briefing that I'm getting ready to show you. But if you notice, this briefing has the Notebook LM. I just uploaded to Canva and just erased that out. So that's the simplicity of that. And let's see. So also generated some reports that explain, like, yep. So let's just take a, yeah. So, yeah. So this is about the compounding effect. So just and that's just a report thing right here. And so what I like about the report things, whenever you see these pencils, you can actually copy the prompt. So the strategic roadmap. So I can, if I wanted to copy that prompt and create a graphic, I just come here and copy it, and then I can create an infographic, or I can create a slide deck, or I can create a video or an audio just off that prompt. So that's how I use that. And let's take a quick look at the yeah. So that's from one document. I got this huge infographics that if I took time to go all around, it'll explain how I use AI. Okay, so I just wanted to share that real quick. But let's go through some things so I can reinforce what we already covered. Moving beyond, just a question and answer prompt, that's, you can use AI for that, but you're not getting the full benefit of it, when you do that. Yeah. So yeah. So let's so it's just telling you to stop asking for answers and start engineering intelligence. And that everything around you is data, and it's just saying use the data. So one of the things that got me on understanding that everything is data, one of the founders we had on, he was explaining how he was creating this avatar and of a person that, but he wanted this person to speak a certain language, and so it was a language that wasn't common. There was no translation. So he literally went on YouTube and found people speaking this language, and use those YouTube videos to train the AI how to understand and speak that language. And so data is everywhere, and we just don't realize it. When you have somebody has a website, the AI can tell you what the business model of that company is. Yeah. So yeah, it's just so many ways you can so basically you're taking all your experiences in life and letting the AI find all the patterns, the connections, the meanings, and to help you make decisions and take actions. And it's literally a loop. So pay attention at scale. I'm literally telling you, and you can automate all of this, all these transcripts and stuff, and just have the AI go in and analyze it and gives you a report. And so stuff that you don't have time to read. So look, and I did this with the students this summer. I gave them something was impossible for them to read and understand in a matter of minutes, but with AI, they could actually analyze, put it in Notebook LM, and kind of understand what that was all about. So this is a really important concept to helps you pay attention at scale. So just let that sink in a while. Pay attention at scale. How can you be aware of all this stuff that's going on around you? And you're in a meeting, and all this information is being shared. And just so you know, when I go to a conference or a meeting, I never take notes. I let the AI take the notes because it can literally, when I get ready to analyze that, I I, I can uncover as more information than anybody could take notes on in one particular way. So this is like 6 different ways that I use AI uh, to reflect my own thinking back to me. What am I thinking? Am I thinking correctly? Is this information solid that I'm sharing with you right now? Reflect it back to me so I can understand it and I can be the judge of it. So linking ideas, people, conversations, and across silos. So if I'm doing something with one group of people, another group, this thing finds the patterns and connections between those things and to kind of help you move forward. Now, this is the most important thing here, this memory layer. And so because that's how you're going to help get the information to compound and the intelligence compound. So you may not remember a meeting you had 6 months ago, but the AI remembers. And so, because that's what it is, it's actually as you build your and use these language models, it's actually have that history and it's reflecting that back to you. So, I've seen this over and over again. Things that I've talked about in different times, it connects all those things together because the same pattern is reoccurring. And so, just to give it a perfect example of this, before I started elementary school, and my mother did days work, she ran around cleaning folks' houses, and so that was our only source of income was her doing cleaning up people's houses. And so she didn't have the money to buy us toys. So when the kids got tired of playing with the toys that the house she would clean them, they would discard them, and most of the time they were actually broken or and needed repair. And so my younger brother and I, we looked at these toys and we learned how to fix them to get them back working again, or putting stuff to just literally reverse engineering these things to figure out how to move forward. And believe it or not, the AI, through all these conversations over the years, it saw the same pattern in the way I work with founders. It saw the same pattern in the way I work with students. It saw the same pattern, that literally I've been using. It's the pattern that had me to become an engineer and have a successful career because I'd literally reverse engineered everything. Yeah, my mother would say, you can't go to these people's houses because they're bad people. You hang around bad people, you're going to be bad. So I reverse engineer it. If you hang around successful people, you're going to be successful. Every, these patterns, just going. And so this microscope thing, like I said, some things you can't see. You need a microscope. I use AI like a microscope to find these weak signals of what's going to happen in the future. Thinking partner, and I think Lenora was hinting on that and what she said. Now, the simulation, that's literally the talking about the reverse engineering, but I use it like that too to do the reverse engineering. But so when you fill out the form to get in our Founders Insight program, I give you a prompt that simulates, takes your business idea and industry and designs a business model for. No, first it gives you business idea. You put your business idea and industry, and then it looks at the whole industry and find out all the stakeholders in that industry, all the pain points they have, psychological, what all these different pain points for each customer segment, and all the stakeholders, and then it looks at all the ways you can make money with that, and it's laying its foundation, and then it builds, finds the top ways you can make money with that, and then it starts creating your business model around the top 3 ways you can make money. Then it opens up those customer segments and stress tests each customer segment and just goes through this whole process, builds your business model, then you do demand validation. It does your simulate doing your demand validation, and then from that you can design your solution and your sales pitch. And so this using AI to actually simulate your whole business, and so yeah, so that's powerful. And do that in less than an hour, and went out and researched everything about your business that you never would have could have did or had the time to do. Okay, without AI, everything becomes static, and so that's uh, a few recorded items. Yeah, just zero across context and reuse. So when you use it as an intelligence framework, you you get it's a permanent assets. Yeah, it's just you can identify things, and this is kind of using an example of a two-hour meeting that that you can use to kind of analyze it as an example. So some people use it as a tool. Some people use it as a thinking partner. So AI as an intelligence amplifier, and these are the stages that you can go to the growth um, that you can go through. So I've been using the Lanika method um, uh, for since last October. So I'm coming up on that year time frame, and it's I'm having to slow it down because it's progressing too fast. So layer one, life and human work context. Layer two, that's what AI, and you capture and search, extract and compare and connect, generate, simulate. Yeah, and then the Lanika thing is going in there and interrogating that information, finding all the lies and finding all the patterns in it, and just all the hidden signals. I mean, it's literally amazing. And then you get to the point where you have this in um, uh, uh, human intelligence and judgment layer. Here's another view of it in here. What happened? And those are the facts. That's the surface patterns. What patterns are forming? Repetition, relationship, blah blah blah, and then that's getting the structure of everything. What might this tell us? So it's looking to the future. That's the signals, and then that human responsibility, the judgment, and this decision making. So surface, hidden patterns, signals, weak signals, patterns, blind spot, implications, and action. Um, so this means the unit of value isn't the prompt, it isn't the answer. The unit of value is the this rigorous learning cycle. Yeah, and here is the recursive learning cycle here. Yeah, and so I'm go ahead and wind this down. So the human is always involved in every step. So I won't dwell on that. So this is an example of some of the things that I'm involved in. So the AI literally finds the connections between all of these things, and this is not even half of the things I'm involved in. So this is just some of the recent things I've been actually prompting about, and so you don't want the information to live in silos. You want to all the stuff you find here. How does it relate over here, in all these different areas that you work in? So this is the unit of value is not the prompt. The unit of value is not the answers. The unit of value is the learning cycle. This loop of everything. Okay, and this is the compounding equation because it's just getting more and more intelligent. So the things you experience every day, you make sense of them with AI, you use your human judgment and you take action. And then now you got the evidence and you can go do something. Then you can come back and just see how that worked. It's just a loop. Uh, I use AI to turn experience into intelligence that compounds. So imagine that. Yeah. Okay. let's see what we got here. Okay, that's basically it. And so, any last minute questions before we wind this up, everybody? I hope that was of use and valuable to you. So just let me know if you have any last minute questions. There's so many things that I haven't told you that I've experienced and used, and so yeah, it's yeah. And the one thing I would say again that I literally been having to slow the AI down because it's trying to move me faster than faster than I can actually go. But it's definitely pretty powerful. So I don't just use the AI for the business stuff. I use it for my personal life. I use it for social stuff. Yeah, it's just non-stop. Yeah. All right. So I'm not sure when we'll. I have to follow up and try to get Sam Cleaver, see when he's back in town. We can get him back on to get him on to kind of share some of his thoughts and everything. Just remember, AI is analogous to your brain, and when you set a goal in life of what you want to accomplish or what you want to do next week, your brain figures out how to do it. And so once you help the AI figure out what you're trying to do, it'll figure out how to get you there. And that's the whole secret. And so like if you have a goal that you want to make $10,000 of money in your startup or your business, or if you want to make a certain amount, let's say you want to make over the next 3 years, you want to make 100,000, 10,000, whatever. You can tell AI, this is what I want to do. And just for example, you can say, well, what I need to do each month in order to grow my business to that level of recurring income. That's reverse engineering, and that's how you stress test if your pricing is right, your sustainability of your business. That's how you stress test the feasibility of your business, by just reverse engineering what your goal is to work backwards. And that only takes 5 minutes. And so some people work on their business without even realizing the sustainability, or if they're charging the right price in order to kind of be around. So there's so many things that uh, it's just there for you to engage. So just remember, apply dot KakurInstitute.org. Just Google my name on the internet. You'll find all my contact information. I'm not hard to find at all. But we will give you access to the tools you need to move forward and help you grow. And yeah, to me with AI, I don't take anything for granted, even though I know it can do a lot of things. I still go back and double check and triple check everything to make sure that I'm trying to communicate the best information. All righty. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, and I appreciate you all hanging around. Feel free to reach out anytime. I have office hours from 1 to 3 p.m. Central Time on Saturdays. Here every Thursday night, normally with a founder or somebody in the ecosystem. And so, and one thing in that video in the beginning of this event was the fact, that people who actually reach out and get help and leverage mentors, they do 3 times better than the people who don't. So if you keep it to yourself and not asking questions, you're literally making a big mistake. And so just remember, the Kakura Institute is here to help you, and we've compounded a lot of things over the past 6 years that can actually help you and to help you move forward. Take care, everybody. We'll see you all next week, and thank you, Lenora, for being engaged there. We really appreciate it. Hope to see you in our program, and so to kind of help you grow. And like I said, feel free to reach out anytime. See you all next week. Take care.